Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, I am going to be talking about the power of internships. For my second ever speech for Toastmasters, we had to create a persuasive speech, and my speech topic was about why every college student should get an internship. And I also gave a blueprint on how to get your first ever internship. The reason that you want to get an internship, especially in college, is because it makes you way more desirable in the job market. Plenty of students, they neglect this advice, or they're not even aware of this advice. They're in college and they're thinking, let me just finish my degree. If I get my degree, that's what employers are going to like. But by the time that they are applying for these jobs, a lot of the employers, they're like, well, where's your experience? And these college students that were only focused on the degree, they're like, dang, I don't have any experience. You guys are supposed to be my experience. And then the employers are like, well, why should we take a risk on you? And the student is like, well, I have my degree. And that's when they learn something in the real world. The degree alone is not going to cut it. That's why by your junior or senior year of college, you need to start looking for internships. One little hack I will give you is that a lot of companies partner with universities and colleges to strictly give opportunities to those students within the universities and colleges. And this is known as a co-op program. Type in your university name, type in co-op program, and you will see a lot of job opportunities that you can apply for. And the cool thing with these job opportunities is that you're not competing with the world. You're only competing with other students within your school. So this is a seamless way to get your first ever internship. And don't be too worried about the pay. It's mainly about the experience. I would recommend you do get a pay, but it doesn't have to be out of this world by any means. For my first ever internship, it was in an aerospace company, and I think I was making $8 an hour, which is barely anything. I recall when I was working in Subway in high school, I was making $6.75 an hour, and here I am working as a systems engineer in an aerospace company, making $8 an hour, which was barely anything. But I didn't do it for the money first. Instead, I did it for the experience. At that point in my life, I had done 3 years in the College of Engineering. I kept learning about all these different engineering principles. But by the time I actually worked that summer with other engineers, I really learned engineering. 3 months in an internship outweighed 3 years in college. That is the power of practical experience. So if you are a college student, you really need to take some time and prioritize getting an internship. And if you are, let's say, an elder to a guy that's in a college, you really need to give this advice to someone. Like, dude, are you working on getting an internship? And they say no, then tell them you should. Because by my junior year, I was thinking, well, what clubs am I going to join in my junior year? And one of my buddies who had graduated was like, Armani, you don't need more club experience, all right? Forget clubs. Employers don't care about the clubs unless you were a founder of the club. What they really care about is job experience, and you need to get an internship, Armani. That conversation changed my life because that's when I started applying to a bunch of different jobs, kept getting rejected. I finally got that aerospace internship. And once I got that internship, I had experience that I could put in my resume. And afterwards, whenever I would apply for jobs, that aerospace company, it gave me clout. People were like, wait a minute, you worked in an aerospace company? Something about it, it just sounds fancy. And they were like, okay, this isn't a guy that just talks. This is a guy that knows. So forget the pay too much in the beginning stages. Just focus on the experience, focus on building a network, and focus on building your skills and get that internship, especially when you're in college. If you enjoyed today's talk, drop that like for me right on below, and thank you very much for joining me.